Well, so welcome to Market Movers, Alex. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
I'm really inspired from your, group and your event that you've been putting together, IRL here in San Diego. So, I just want to hear a little bit more about your journey before IRL and how you got to this point.
Okay.
And what really sparked the interest and inspired you to create this company.
Okay.
Yeah.
My past is long, as is everybody's, but I think the most important thing that kind of stands out from my past that leads into IRL right now is that I really kind of had trouble not so much making friends, but maintaining friendships, and really struggled with loneliness and therefore isolation, I think, over time, for a long time, even though I'm an extrovert and I love people. And so I always felt like that hunger for that. So over the course of many years, I think a lot of friends saw that need and really helped step in and kind of nurture that in me and nurture being able to be better at community and making friends and using that kind of almost as a superpower. I think ultimately I'm actually really good at making friends, but I just had that kind of it was a back shelf and I didn't know it was a talent of mine, if you will.
Yeah.
So once that kind of progressed, once I kind of moved out of my own stage of loneliness and isolation, I realized how freeing that was and how necessary that was, and saw a lot of other people who were struggling with it too. And I was like, gosh, this is too good of a secret and a tool to keep to myself. If I can help other people find their community, kind of come out of isolation and loneliness, I would love to do that. And I started really small. Actually, I don't really talk about this that much, but IRL actually kind of started in 2021.
Oh, okay.
Unofficially.
Yeah. Right after the pandemic, right?
Right after the pandemic.
I feel like a lot of people were looking for connections.
For sure.
Yeah.
And me especially, because I had just moved to San Diego. I didn't know a single soul and moved on a whim, not fully intending on living here actually, as long as I did, but COVID kept me grounded. And so I needed friends. So I randomly started asking people, truly randomly, asked people if they would just go to brunch with me. Sometimes I'd be a random people I would just casually meet in a grocery store or something like that. Or a lot of time Bumble BFF. I don't know if that's still up and booming right now, but that was a great tool back after COVID. So I just regularly message girls out there. I was like, hey, I'm Alex. I'm new to San Diego. Do you want to get brunch on Sunday or something? Yeah. And a lot of people said yes to that.
That's cool.
So then it was a lot of yeses. So I was like, let's just all get together and do it together. And so we started doing these brunches together, turned into beach days and stuff like that. Because it was unofficial, it wasn't very organized, and I don't think it grew beyond my capacity, and just a little bit of drama here and there that I didn't know how to handle. So I kind of dissolved it.
So the unofficial side of things, do you still have some of the core following, or Frank still showing up to IRL?
Actually, yeah.
Nice.
And it was those guys that really brought IRL back kind of, I think, in 2024, because it was kind of their nudging of hey, remember when you were doing that? That was super helpful. I would appreciate if you could do it again. I actually said no quite a few times before, in the beginning, because I was like, gosh, guys, it's a lot of work and I work in events already and I'm just not sure. And then I started thinking about it. I was like, why not? We'll do it small. I had 9 people on the Instagram initially. I think they were all mostly my friends. And we would just do I was like, let's just go to the Padres game, or go on a walk, or super, super small. And then I really think it's the algorithm that got a hold of it. And it just went from
That's cool.
9 to a lot really fast. And at that point I was like, okay. I remember in the beginning, I didn't have a way for people to sign up for anything. So people would message me and they're hey, we want to come. And I was like, okay, great. Here's my phone number. Send me a text. In retrospect, giving my phone number out to hundreds of strangers on the internet was not the move.
That's funny. What's your background? So you said your job is in events right now currently?
Yes.
Okay. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure.
How's that parallel?
Funny thing about that, actually, because I graduated in 2007 from college, which was during the housing crisis, all that stuff. Really needed a job, couldn't find a job. I got a temp job stuffing badges. This is back in the olden days where you had to, we printed paper badges and then stuffed them in the plastic badge holders that you clip on your shirt. And you alphabetize that before an event. It was a whole ordeal. Many days.
Big show or something?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I got brought in as a temp job to stuff badges. And they literally were like, wow, you're pretty good at alphabetizing. sounds funny, but ultimately I've been in events longer. Not as many people are as good at alphabetizing as you may think. So they were like, cool, I think if you can alphabetize, you can do spreadsheets, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. And then brought me on for a longer contract, which ended up being an event registration. No idea what I was doing, but it was a job. So I stuck with it. And then the event world is small. And once you're kind of in, you just, especially in the registration world, you keep getting pulled. So I just constantly fortunately, it's such a blessing, but like constantly was just getting pulled from like next company to next agency of like, hey, we heard you do this. Please come over here.
Wow.
And so I never left.
Interesting.
But I also never loved the job. And so for a really long time, I was like, what am I doing with this? Like, why? How can I ever like apply these to something that is meaningful and purposeful for myself? Little did I know, IRL was around the corner eventually. And those skills have been, I don't think I could have done this without those skills. So it really came full circle. Yeah. So
Did you outline some of those skills that are necessary, you think, for operating a business like this? Or do you want to talk about the secret sauce?
So I do a lot of data. So my job is like when you go to an event and you go online to register, you go to a website, you enter all this information, your name, your travel, like all that stuff. My team has built that website, usually with a third-party platform, and we're taking all of that data and we're configuring it. We're essentially turning that data back into a story for our clients to understand like who's coming, why they're coming, where they're coming from, all this stuff, right? So very data heavy, but what I love about that is that it's creating a picture of each person. Like I can tell you what their jobs are. Now at this point, I can tell you like the likelihood of what time they're going to come to breakfast. I can tell you like if they're going to be like a big drinker or not. Like, and this is how we gauge how much like food and beverage to buy or like what time to have breakfast and stuff like that. Wow. And that part is so fun. And I really apply that to IRL, I think, because it's really helped me understand human behavior. And that's a lot of what IRL is like, what is the human behavior towards building community, towards finding friends. I think it's given me a unique insight into how to market, how to create events that a specific person might enjoy. And really just, I think honestly, it's given me an ability to understand attendees one-on-one too. Like I get a lot of feedback. They're like, oh, I just feel like really seen and present with you and stuff like that. And I'm like, I won't tell them I'm like studying them, but I'm like, well, the data doesn't lie.
Sure. You're understanding the actual audience, but you're getting to put like a real tangible face, like physical. Yeah. Like you're shaking hands, everything, sharing a drink. Whereas like what I do, it's like I never see that person. So that's cool. You actually get to see the actual end result.
Yeah. And actually, now that you say that, I've never really considered that. Because I've always said, I work with a lot of creatives. And so there's always like an end result for them. They design a really beautiful graphic and then we can go visually see that.
Yeah.
And I've always been like, oh, you can never really see mine. Like you can account for how many people attend and stuff like that. But until you said that right now, I was like, oh, that is my outcome. Is like seeing these people. Yeah.
It's like the smile is the end result. You got someone there, they're happy, and you met a friend. That's great.
That's a great point. Okay. I like that. Thank you.
Of course. So tell me a little bit about the challenges that you face growing this company. You mentioned like you started at 9 followers and now the algorithm's getting you there.
Yeah.
But like what happened in between?
I have a love-hate relationship with this because I feel like every day is a new challenge and a new adventure. But like never, if you had asked me on day one to write what I think my challenges would be and then what they actually were, not even on the same planet. Like just like little things are just
New challenges every day.
Every day. And like just such strange things. Like this is such a tiny example, but just like miscommunications when we're doing collaborations of like what links people are using to register and stuff like that. And that sounds just like, oh, oops, not this link, use this link. But like that ends up can be like a day-long conversation of like, why we're using this link and like all of that stuff. Weird little things like that pop up. I think one of my biggest challenges, and again, I almost hate to say that because this is really a blessing, but we grew really fast.
Okay.
And I just didn't anticipate that, wasn't prepared for that. I'm not even 100% sure I was hoping for that. Like I don't want to say I didn't want it to grow, but I think I was like, yeah, we'll just see where it goes. And then it went real fast. And I was like, whoa, okay. Like I wasn't buckled in yet. And so just really right now, creating better systems, better infrastructure to keep things running smoothly, to keep me from burning out, to keep people, I really want people to feel more involved. I think they feel involved in the events, but I really kind of, I want this to be a community also built by the community. I want them to have a sense of ownership and like really be a part of that. And that's been an uphill battle of like, how do I get that in an efficient way and a timely way and stuff like that. I've got people ready. Like people are ready to do it and that's so exciting. It's just more of like, getting all of like the little tiny details set up of like, how do we get people plugged in?
Yeah, you're not only managing people, you're managing like the culture behind your business as well too, once you start bringing people in, and that can get a little messy sometimes, like you said, a little dramatic, like certain aspects.
Sure. When I keep telling myself, I'm like, this is the way of growth.
Yeah.
For myself or for any company.
Sure.
And I always tell people, I was like, okay, well, before we were at the newborn stage and it was just like me and the baby, and that was great, but baby's learning how to walk. And I'm like, now it's got to go to daycare. And I'm like, okay. And I try not to be like a helicopter parent, but it's challenging someday.
Do you feel like you could step away from IRL at any moment right now and let someone manage what you do? Or you kind of feel like maybe you're the face right now and that's okay?
I think right now I'm still the face.
Yeah.
I think there are aspects I can step away from.
Mm-hmm.
My hope with IRL is that we can continue to grow to multiple cities, domestically, but also internationally. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. Which means inevitably I'm going to have to step away. I can't be in every place at every time. I think right now we're in a really critical reputation building stage. And I feel like I want to keep a close watch on that. Because we're really setting the tone for what happens next. But slowly starting to practice bringing people into certain things. And just also looping them in. I've really found people to be really receptive as long as they understand the reputation and like what we're trying to build. They're already aligned with that. There aren't really people who are interested in helping who don't naturally align with that anyways, but they're all super supportive. So at first I was like, here, like follow my lead, and they're like, no, we want to help you do that. So that part's been beautiful. Like, just everybody who's been willing to help and all that stuff.
What values are you instilling in the community that's kind of replicating like who you are and what the mission is of the company?
That is a great question. When I've been doing volunteer interviews recently, we have a long list of values. And when volunteers sign on, I like share the list of values with them and stuff like that and just say, hey, I just want to make sure that you're aware of like, this is where we stand. This is when you see us make certain decisions, it's because we're always trying to point back to these value systems. Yeah. But I was like, but if you can only take one away, only remember one, I was like, it's the golden rule. Like, you don't have to like everyone. You don't have to align with everyone, but you need to treat everyone with love and respect. And I was like, that's just so, I want IRL to feel like walking into my own living room and just feeling like at ease, warm and welcome. And if no one else finds out any of the other values, I want it to be that. Like, I just want them to know, like, here I'm loved and respected. Yeah. No matter what.
It's general kindness.
General kindness. And like, I think even beyond, I think it's easier to be kind, but I guess it's easy to be nice, and like be polite. But I'm like, I really want, and I think people are seeing this. I really want people to feel like, oh, when I'm here, it's okay that I'm a little different or a little weird or like whatever. Like, people are still talking to me. I still feel involved. It kind of extends beyond kindness. It just feels safe, I guess.
That's good. Yeah, safe. I feel like from my personal perspective of like going to groups and stuff, like I always go in with that like initial, like I'm just going to say hi to everyone and be myself. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like I hope people are doing the same thing to like every group they try, because I feel like you got to be a little open-minded when you try these.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, and I think I met you at first through Reunion Society.
Yes.
Yeah, and you were just so friendly and warm. Warm is another good word. Like you. Oh, thanks. You what's the word? You're the leading example of what kind of the IRL energy is. Just like friendly, kind, warm, like all of that stuff. Easy to talk to. Yeah, I just think you embody that really.
You reciprocated it exactly the same.
Oh, I think
it's like
it was easy.
Yeah, it was easy to talk. But no, I was impressed because I had actually stumbled upon IRL on Threads that time. Unless you're, I was like, oh, like you're the one that manages it. Like I keep getting targeted or something on Threads for that. At least,
Which is so, I do post on Threads, but I've actually never, I think one time in the very beginning, we ran one advertisement because I accidentally turned it on. I didn't realize that was happening.
Yeah.
But other than that, we've never like advertised for IRL. And so everything has just been through the algorithm and through word of mouth.
Yeah.
Like that just like warms my heart beyond all belief because we get so many people who are like, my friend told me about this or something like that. And I was like, my hope is like that will always be our biggest marketing tool because I really think that speaks to the culture of a group if people are coming because other people recommend it.
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about social media side of things because you mentioned Threads and how that was the algorithm. What other type of content have you created that you've seen be successful online and like what's working for you?
Well, I think Threads is a secret tool, like an absolute powerhouse of connecting. It's one of the first times in a long time with social media that I feel like you have a direct line to the right people. If you use your hashtags properly, if you, especially, and I feel like I'm a little bit of the exception because I'm so geo-specific right now.
Yeah.
And Threads really is pushing that and really in my benefit. But because of that, I'm reaping a lot of rewards. I get a lot of leads through Threads.
Sorry to interrupt, but like as a marketer, it really does help when you have a niche, right?
Yeah.
Like we really can hone in on some type of community or audience, location.
Yeah.
So yeah, you probably are going to win really big.
Well, and so we're in experimental phase because I'm like, okay, cool. I think we got lucky with like being geo-specific. And I didn't realize this, but we're getting tons of leads from people who Google how to make friends.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I want to do a deep dive. I need somebody to help me because I don't even understand Google Analytics enough to like figure that out. But I'm like, okay, what about that is bringing it up? Obviously, it has to be San Diego related. I can't imagine otherwise.
SEM Rush will help you do that. It basically will pull all the information about like your search and like what people are searching to find you.
Really? Okay.
So you'll be able to see where that's coming from.
That would be so helpful. And just fun. Like, I'm just curious. Can be in the data.
Did you like create a blog or something, you think? Or was it maybe a TikTok?
No, we just actually started the TikTok page, which I am getting a lot of leads from that as well.
Yeah.
I have no idea. This is literally me like spitballing this idea, but I don't care about the IRL page in the sense of how I post. I feel the most free on that page. I feel like I want to stay on brand, but I don't, like I have my personal page, right? And I'm a little bit constantly thinking like, oh, will people like it? Will they judge me? Like all of that stuff. And so I think in the back of my mind, everything's a little bit curated, a little bit filtered. And on IRL, I'm like, here I am, take me or leave me. Like, and this is like what we're doing, all that stuff. And I am beginning to wonder if that isn't helping some. It has made me post more often. It's made me be more concise, I think. Like, I think my posts aren't, I'm not trying to beat around the bush or anything like that. And then also we have the advantage that it's just events. You know what I mean? Like, I think the algorithm just pushes that out really well.
That's true.
Because it's so cross-applicable. Like, you can push that out to a man, a woman in different age, whatever.
Yeah.
I think that is advantageous. And I also use a few SEO keywords in every single caption. Smart. Over and over and over.
What's smart?
Yeah, but don't tell anyone that. People are like, oh, and I was like, there's a really big keyword in there that I keep using if you look close.
Nice. It's like a game. You gotta find.
Yeah. Like little Easter egg in there.
Do you like making content? Like, does it make you happy when you're shooting videos and stuff like that? Like, is it a big part of the process for you?
I love to share. I love to talk. I love to document. So yes, I feel like sometimes it can feel a little overwhelming, but for me, it just feels like an extension. I don't feel like I'm talking to a camera. I don't feel like I'm talking to a boy. Like, I just feel like I'm picking up the phone every day and like talking to my friends and stuff like that. So I really do enjoy that. And I think I'm a little bit of an external processor, which is why I'm constantly sharing a lot about my life. I think I'm like simultaneously processing it with you guys. For better or for worse. But I think I do enjoy at least the editing always is a little, it's not, I actually enjoy the editing. It's just time consuming.
Yeah.
But the running the kind of the stories through my head of like, oh, like what little clips do I want to get to kind of help tell this story and stuff. And we're doing this thing right now. We just started this called Meet the Fam, and which is so fun. I love doing it. I've only put out one episode so far, but basically it's just interviewing the IRL people and just kind of getting to know them. And it's so fun. Like, one, everyone's so excited to do it. It just like warms my heart. They're like, oh yeah, I want to do it. I want to do it. And then it's just really fun to like get to know people on a more intimate basis. Like, I think some of the things that come out are unexpected. And it's just a little opportunity to brag about themselves too. And I think it's just, I don't know, sometimes I'm like, oh, it's just so cute to see what you do, like what you're so excited about. Like, I just love that part.
That's cool. Yeah, it's like an icebreaker too.
For sure.
You get to introduce yourself to the community.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, I saw you.
Yeah.
That's cool. Do you have any like tips for anyone that's out there trying to make their own content and like put themselves out there? Like, just how, like, what do you do to make yourself feel confident and like put yourself out there like that?
This is so cliche, and I feel like everyone says this,
Yeah.
but genuinely, I don't think it's about, I don't feel confident. I think people, they're like, you make content, therefore you must be confident. I'm like, oh, about 95% of the time, I'm like, this is awkward, or especially if I'm doing it in public. Practice makes perfect, and it gets more comfortable with time. But I would say, don't wait till you're confident. Don't even figure out how to be confident, because that's going to change day to day. Just post it anyways. Gary Vee, I think, makes a really good point where he was like, don't create, document. And I think that is tremendously helpful. It takes a lot of the work and a lot of the brain load out of the equation, I think, when you're just like, oh, I'm doing this anyways, just turn on the camera. And I think with time, practice. So much practice. Like, I went viral on TikTok back in 2020. And people were like, oh, that's so cool. Show me the video. I'm like, I will absolutely not. It is one of the most cringy, absurd, weird videos you've ever seen. And I am so glad it is very deep in the archives. But so people are like, wait, what? So I'm like, I might be willing to share it with you sometime. I got 13,000 followers from that one video overnight. Keep in mind, is when TikTok was new, and I think there wasn't a lot to pick from. But I think back to that video and I'm like, what the heck? But it's just practice. Like I love actually my content now, because I'm like, I know next year, 6 months from now, I'm gonna look back and laugh and be like, oh girl, like this is the Fiza you were like, whoa, this is so good. And like, you look back and cringe at it. And I think there's, I don't know, I think that's actually kind of fun in a way.
It is fun. I always tell people, yeah, just start, like, no matter how it looks, because like one example I always use is like The Simpsons, like back in like the 90s, like the art was horrible, right? And it's so like, if you look back at it, you're like, wow, it looks really bad. The voices suck, you know, and then now it's like the biggest cartoon in the world. It's been forever, you know? So it's just like, people like to see stuff evolve, you know, they like to see the phases. How do you stay rooted in authenticity while still being like visible and like in the events with IRL and stuff? Like, how do you continue to be yourself, you know?
Okay, I got to think about that a little bit, because I'm not sure I stopped being myself. I think there's a little bit of a professional version of me that turns on. But I think I've also entered a life stage where I'm like, I want to say I'm like, oh, like I just don't care. That's not the truth. I think I care. I just don't have the energy to like be anybody but myself, or the desire. Because I'm like, this, like, what purpose does it serve to not be myself? Sometimes I almost worry I might be too authentic, you know what I'm like, there should be. And especially as IRL grows and I'm kind of in different environments at different times, I wonder sometimes, I'm like, ooh, should I curate myself just a little bit? But then there's also part of me that's like, again, what value does that bring ultimately? And it's a lot of work to wear a curated version of yourself for too long. So I'm kind of like, well, here she is.
It's cool. As far as like someone coming in for the first time to IRL, like what could they expect?
My hope with that is that it would genuinely feel like walking into somebody's living room. I tell people, I'm like, it's true, you don't know anybody in the room now, but I'm I will bet you money that you will walk away feeling very comfortable. And I tell people, I'm like, you always know at least one person in the room. It's me. Like, you've seen me on Instagram. I like post about this. I talk about this. I was like, please do not hesitate to literally walk up to me. And people have taken me up on this and just say like, hi, I'm new here. Like, can you help me get plugged in? You don't even have to say that much. Just say, hi, I'm new here, whatever. And I'll kind of like take that as a signal to help you get plugged in. I love to connect people. Like, I would spend all day, every day doing that if I could. So it's not a burden to me to like do that. Like, please come up and just say that. I will so gladly keep plugging you in with different people. And we have a lot of powerhouses in the group who are aware of that too. I don't know if they're even like cognizant that they're doing that, but I know that they're so good about this. They're like always a little bit scanning the crowd, noticing the people who are like not really like chatting with people or anything like that, and just like swoop them up. And have just built strong communities outside of IRL, which is really cool. We have so many people who like get dinner together, play volleyball together, all that stuff outside of IRL. So I think IRL is designed to be casual, laid back, genuinely come as you are. And we're like, we don't bite. Like, we're super friendly. We're all a little weird, little goofy. Like, it's just, I don't know. We're just very...
It is inviting.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It is. I think another question I had, and that kind of parlays with like communities outside of IRL, is other actual communities that are in San Diego that are offering kind of the same experience, but maybe a little bit like different vibe here and different vibe there. Like, how are you building these alliances, or are you creating alliances with these type of people in groups?
That's actually so I kind of unofficially, I haven't really like openly announced this to the broader public, but run like a little subgroup called the Community Coalition, which is really geared at helping those groups feel connected to each other. And so we do like little coffee dates and stuff like that, just to be with each other, just to understand what we're doing, all of that stuff. I think IRL unintentionally, but organically, has really become like the old fashioned operators, the phone operators, and they used to like plug you in. Like, I think IRL is a little bit that style, because I tell people, I'm like, our mission is community. I honestly do not care if you find that in IRL or not. I hope you do. But one of my hopes is to be able to plug you in wherever that fits. And so we get a lot of people who come to IRL and then they're like, I'm obsessed with volleyball. I'm like, great. I know this volleyball group. Like, you should hang out with them. And they start to build a stronger community there. And sometimes they pop in and out of IRL like that. We do our 619 night, which is really specifically geared to bringing in other partners so that people have an opportunity to meet those. Because I'm like, I can't provide everything. IRL can't provide everything. You all have varying different interests, all of this stuff. Like, if I want to be a connector, and really have IRL help be that connector, and we get a ton of community groups who are also, they're trying to grow. They want all of that stuff. And I'm like, dude, take it. Like, here, have what information I know, the resource I have, the lessons I've learned, all that stuff. Like, I think once I realized that the mission was community and not the group, that really has shaped my relationship with all the other groups.
That's awesome.
In San Diego.
Really a catalyst.
Trying to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, that's awesome to hear from me, because I didn't realize that, so now going in it, now I'm going to feel like, oh, maybe I'll find someone that likes video editing, or
yeah.
I like Pokemon, so your baby's a Pokemon.
We got a lot
of those. Something weird like that. So yeah, no, it's cool. I like that. Awesome. Is there anything else you want to mention about IRL, or anything coming up? We kind of want to speak more generally, because I don't know when this is going to come out.
Okay.
But
okay.
Just, maybe the vision for the future. You kind of mentioned new cities, but do you want to talk about that, or?
No, we'll try a little bit about that, I guess. Right. So again, haven't officially announced this, but San Diego really is the seed city for this concept. We expanded to North County in March. Hopefully, I'm thinking South Bay will kind of be the next organic step, but really taking IRL as a curriculum, for lack of a better word, maybe, and really putting this in other cities. Because again, the mission is community. I can't run it in every city, but helping find leadership in these cities so that, one, we're bringing community to other cities, but then also my hope is that we are just one giant community. I really want you to go out into the world and be able to say like, oh, I'm IRL San Diego, and be like, oh, I'm IRL London. And you no matter where you're going, you just know you have a friend at the crowd somewhere. You know how to get connected. You know, if I go to like the IRL coffee shop, or if I just hit up the IRL London website, whatever, Instagram, like I can go on their brew crew walk or something like that. So that's really my hope. And that will all point this is behind the scenes, but I'm like, someday we'll have like a giant IRL convention where it's just like all the cities come together and we're just like hanging out, we're having fun.
Yeah.
We're doing some IRL trips coming up too, and I want that to be really open. We're about to announce a cruise, and you don't have to be part of IRL. You don't have to live in San Diego. Like if you can get to LA and get on the boat, like come on down. If you need friends, like that's the whole goal. It's just like spending 4 or 5 days hanging out with friends. So that is my hope. Like when I look to the future, I'm like, we'll just have IRL everywhere. So you genuinely have a friend everywhere.
Yeah. That's great.
The goal.
It's cool. I think just one last time, can you just explain to the audience, and I'll probably reorder this, but like, what is IRL? Like, it's a community, right? For you to make friends. But I feel like you have like a better way of saying it. So I just want to get that on camera one last time.
Okay. I'm still working on how to describe what IRL is. I have, at the moment, kind of lumped it to say that it is a friendship company who is on a mission to help provide people with the tools and the resources to find, build, and maintain meaningful community and to really prosper in their social health. So I don't know if that's enough.
That's great.
Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome. One thing I like to do is just for you to plug in your website, your social media handles, however you want to market yourself. That way we can go ahead and market that on YouTube.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's very kind. How do you
find you?
Okay, how do we find us? So we do have a website. It's a little clunky, but it gets the job done. It's irl.sd.com. We have our Instagram page, which is irl.sd. And then we actually have another IRL Instagram called irl.hq. And that is where you will very soon start seeing all the other cities get posted too. So that's kind of our hub HQ of where you can find all of these other opportunities coming to new cities.
Nice. It's awesome. It's exciting. Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on the podcast. It was really fun to hear your story, and I'm glad we got to talk about it and document it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. It was really fun. I appreciate it.